た明日。
I think tomorrow found her instead. I know, bad joke. Very, very bad joke. So, there's content within this episode for Takopi that would probably have my channel deleted if I was to just straight up show. Because, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect to see everything that happens in the manga just full-blown uncensored with this first episode. And when I'm talking about content uncensored, I'm talking about actual content that YouTube would literally delete a channel for, or at least delete a video for. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I was legitimately shocked that this was even allowed to air uncensored. Hell, I'm actually shocked that Crunchyroll even allowed this to air on their platform without trying to censor it in some way. I knew that there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. I mean, you literally have, like, the first part of the episode literally open up with, this program contains depictions of, you know, like, suicidal behavior that may be upsetting to some viewers. If you or someone else you know needs help, visit, you know, crisishelpresources.com. When you have an episode start with something like this, you know it's going to be freaking dark. You know it's going to be unsettling. And this disclaimer, this warning has appeared a lot for a lot of different anime I have seen over the years. But I think that if there's any time this disclaimer has ever fitted an anime series than any time before, it's definitely now. Because I'm going to tell you, if you go into this episode blind and you don't know what to expect, you're going to legitimately just have your jaw hit the floor, because it is so unexpected with what happens in the halfway point. Like I said, I can't even show it. Like, I can't even show the scene because it's that graphic for YouTube. Like, legitimately, like, YouTube would not like it. And all I'm gonna say is that the content of this series is very emotional. It's sad. It basically, to kind of summarize it, you have this girl that is experiencing bullying, and it's a common theme within manga and anime, light novels, and all sorts of stuff, but the way it is depicted in this is very depressing, because it is the reality of the situation, of normal outcome of an actual systematic bullying, when someone is bullied so often that they just legitimately give up all hope. I mean, the entire premise of this series is about an alien that is from the planet Happy, that is just so overcome with joy and happiness. He meets this girl that, basically is very depressed, but because he is an alien species that only knows about the term happiness, or the feeling of happiness, he can't comprehend someone feeling depressed, sad, upset, in misery, or anything like that. You know, it's not something that the alien is fully able to, you know, I guess, comprehend. And the beginning of the episode kind of showcases the situation that Kuze's in, that she is someone that doesn't really have any hopes, doesn't have any dreams, she doesn't want to make memories, she doesn't really want anything, she's just going day by day hoping that one day maybe it might end, but it's probably never going to. I mean, you can really kind of get a feel for her entire situation, her like household situation, her life and everything, just from the very few interactions she has with Takopi. She doesn't even need to directly tell the audience what she's going through or how she's feeling, and you're able to pick up on these little, you know, key signs. Like, for one, I really like how with the alien creature Takopi, how he introduces these different gadgets. Like, one gadget he offers Kuze is like, this object will allow you to fly. And it's a very basic gadget, but when you think about it from a perspective of a kid, if a kid had this alien creature encounter them and was like, hey, I'll give you this gadget and you can start floating around and flying, typically either kids would freak out or kids would want to fly. And I think one of the biggest things that a lot of kids have when they're growing up is that they want to imagine that they could fly through the sky or teleport and stuff like that. But obviously that is not what Kuze does. She denies it. She doesn't even want to do it. She just seems very just passive. She just lacks any emotion towards it whatsoever, and she's like, she doesn't believe any magic or anything like that, and just walks off. And that was a first sign or indication on what type of individual she is and what life she's currently living. She's a kid, clearly in elementary school or middle school, and she's going through such a tough time that she doesn't have time as a kid to dream and feel happy. You can see that, and that instantly clues you in on where the story is going. But then, as it goes a lot further, you have another gadget that's introduced. You have the little Takopi creature introduce this gadget that's like a camera. It's a little camera that could take a snapshot, a picture, and this is another moment that kind of indicates what type of personality and what type of lifestyle Kuze has. The picture obviously would offer a chance to look back at your memories, previous things that happened in your life. And if you're a kid, usually kids love to take pictures. Kids love to have memories of different things. It's fascinating. But seeing someone that's so young not even wanting to take pictures, they're not enthusiastic about pictures, they don't want to make memories or anything like that, that's another sign, another warning red flag that obviously was indicating where the story would go. And then after this point, eventually, after a bunch of gadgets are offered to her, one day, she is offered a gadget that is a rope. And I think I don't need to really, explain why she took the gadget. But, basically, from the perspective of the alien, from the perspective of Takopi, he just wanted to help her out, he just wanted to give her happiness, and the object in general, the way it was presented, was meant to just bring her happiness. It wasn't anything nefarious or evil or anything about that. But obviously, what Kuze did with it says another thing. But the point is that, when the halfway point happens, and we finally get to the scene that YouTube would delete my channel for if I was to show it, we see Takopi's Original Sin, and that explains the title of the series. The title is Takopi's Original Sin, and it is not Kuze's Original Sin or anything like that, and it indicates who the MC actually is. The sin that Takopi created, or did, was giving Kuze the actual rope or gadget that was never supposed to be given to her. Because according to the rules and set from the alien species, the gadgets can never be given to another species without supervision. You have to always be there to watch what they're doing. But obviously, in this case, he didn't follow those rules. He wanted to believe in Kuze and didn't really see any warning signs or red flags or anything because he comes from a species that doesn't really consider that or think about that. And so when everything goes down and things take a very dark turn, obviously Takopi wants to figure out what he can do to make things right. And that really sets the story going forward for the series. And it's legitimately such a very emotionally charged episode that I am just... might be one of the strongest anime premieres I've seen in a very long time. I would say I will put this anime premiere up there with Free Ren. Like, the first episode of Free Ren. So when I compare something to Free Ren's premiere, I do not say that lightly. I really will say that this series checkmarks everything that you would want from an anime. It gives entertainment, emotions, it is so emotionally charged, it has a beautiful art style, beautiful animation, engaging characters, great voice actors, the chemistry between the characters really just kind of bounce off each other, the opening song is incredible, and so is the ending song. It's just like, it has everything I want from a series. I'm praising it 100%. There is not really anything that I can complain about. Actually, no, that's incorrect. There is one thing I can't complain about, and that is the fact that there is not more content for me to watch. Obviously, that's not really a complaint. It means that the anime is doing its job. If you're wanting more, you're wanting to see the next episode, then that means that a series has done its job. It has gotten the audience engaged, it's sunken its teeth in you, and you want more. So I think in general, like I said, yeah, one of the strongest premieres I have seen from an anime in a good long while. I would literally put it side by side Free Ren's first episode. Now, with that being said, ironically enough, the first episode of Takopi is 37 minutes long. It is obviously longer than an average anime episode that spans usually 22 to 24 minutes long, so that is definitely a welcome surprise. I don't know if every single episode is going to be this long, but it might be longer than a normal episode length, and the reason for that is because of the episode length amount that was already announced. So for those that are unaware, Takopi Original Sin is a completed series. The manga is already finished, it's been done for a very long time, and the anime has been announced to have 6 episodes. And those 6 episodes are going to be covering all the content from the beginning to the very end. And I'm going to tell you, the manga, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. But I will say that the anime has done just such a fantastic job, and actually, adapted graphic content that I'm surprised was adapted completely uncensored, like legitimately completely uncensored, that I think that if you're really wanting to experience the series and you really are liking it, just stick with the anime. It's just that good. Now, yeah, 6 episodes. It's obviously not going to be a long series, but from my understanding, it's going to be coming out on a weekly basis every single Friday with a new episode for the next 6 weeks. Yeah, I just gotta say, watch the series. Fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. I am curious to see how everything is adapted and all that. I will make one comment, though, on the situation. So, obviously, we know what happened to Kuze and why she ended everything unalive, so to speak. We know why she did that. It's because of this individual right here. And I know people instantly, when they watch this episode, they're going to be on Kuze's side. They're going to want to go after the bully. But then at the end of the episode, we get to see the perspective of the bully and what she's going through at her home situation. Clearly, she doesn't have a good home life, a good lifestyle either, but I'm just gonna say this right now. No amount of horrible childhood, bad life situation justifies what she's putting Kuze through, or anyone. This goes to any situation in fiction and non-fiction. Just because you have an absolute terrible life doesn't mean that you have the right to absolutely torment another person because your life is terrible. And no, it's not right. It's not okay. So regardless of anything that happens, even if she grows as a person, even if she, you try to be more sympathetic or you pity her to a degree, it doesn't change the fact of the action she caused literally led to the main female character unaliving. So yeah, all I'm gonna say is that great first episode, great introduction to characters, give it a watch. I love you guys, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.